So I talked about it, and I mentioned the fact that Kanye said that he molested his cousin.
Hey man, I'm a genius, all right? I'm the most talented musician in the world. If I was a homosexual or a fish, I would
rapper claiming to have had an incestual relationship with his cousin until the rapper was 14.
I don't think they understand that I'm not attracted to a man. I don't get.
My cousin is locked up for murder, and I love him. I saw he did a bad thing, but I
don't want Kanye to tweet. I want Kanye to go get help. If he needs help, he needs to go get help. He's got all the resources. He's had all of the money. He's got all of the access to the best help. Go get help.
Kanye's past just got cracked wide open. And this time, he can't hide behind the Ye name. Camron just aired out something so wild that even Kanye's biggest fans are looking twice. The man's already had his fair share of public meltdowns, but this one, it's different, it's personal, and it's got people shook. Apparently, Kanye let something slip that should have never left his lips. While running his mouth about his younger years, Ye admitted he got caught up in something strange involving a family member. Yeah, you heard that right? Family. It was supposed to stay buried, but Camron, who actually knew Kanye back in the day, wasn't about to let it slide. Now everyone's asking, who exactly was this cousin Ye mentioned, and why would he even talk about that publicly? It all started when Kanye began talking about discovering some adult magazines that belonged to his mom when he was a kid. He claimed that curiosity got the best of him, and he tried to recreate what he saw. But with his younger cousin, fans were left speechless, and even people close to him said it was one of the most uncomfortable moments they've ever heard from Ye. Like, how did he even think saying that out loud was okay? But this is nothing new for Kanye. He's been spiraling for years.
Hey man, I'm a genius, all right? I'm the most talented musician in the world. If I was a homosexual or a fish, I would...
Every few months, he says something that makes the internet explode, and this time, it's hitting harder than ever. He's been mixing with sketchy crowds, pushing bizarre ideas, and burning bridges faster than he can rebuild them. Big brands dropped him. Old friends keep their distance. And fans, even they don't know whether to defend him or just move on. It's wild how far he's drifted from the confident, creative guy who once made music that changed the culture. See, back in the late 90s, Kanye was just another Chicago kid trying to make it, producing beats for underground rappers, hustling from studio to studio, barely sleeping, just trying to get someone to listen. Then came Rockefeller Records, where he finally got a break as a producer. But when it came to being a rapper himself, nobody took him seriously at first. They said he didn't have the look, or that he wasn't street enough. It took a near-fatal car crash to light that fire inside him. That accident made him realize that time wasn't promised, and from that moment, he started writing like a man possessed. When his debut album dropped, it blew up. The world finally saw what Chicago already knew. Kanye West wasn't just another rapper, he was a movement. But even in the glow of fame, the same problem followed him everywhere: his mouth. Kanye's always been fearless with words, and sometimes that boldness turned into chaos. From interrupting award shows to calling out politicians, Ye's never been the type to filter his thoughts. And remember that moment in 2005, live on national TV during the Hurricane Katrina telethon, when he blurted out that George Bush doesn't care about Black people? That was the exact moment Kanye went from artist to controversy magnet. It shocked the world, and honestly, that energy never left him. Every few years, he finds a new way to shock everyone again. But this recent confession about his past, that might just be the most jaw-dropping one yet. When Kanye dropped that bomb on live TV back in 2005, calling out President George W. Bush, it was massive. People couldn't stop talking about it. News anchors debated it, fans were split, and the White House was reportedly fuming.
Doesn't care about Black people.
It was bold, raw, and shocking. But compared to what Ye's been saying in recent years, that moment almost feels tame. Who would have thought that would be just the beginning of his wild mouth era? At the time, Kanye actually went back and apologized for that Bush comment, trying to clean up the mess. But if history's taught us anything, it's that Kanye never stays quiet for long. In 2013, he turned his attention to another hot topic: abortion, quoting the 10 Commandments while speaking out against it. That sparked a whole new round of outrage. And then, in 2018, he dropped one of the most jaw-dropping statements of his career, saying that slavery sounded like a choice. The internet went nuclear. Even his closest supporters couldn't defend that one, and the backlash hit him hard. He later tried to backtrack and explain, but the damage was already done. But things didn't just stop there, they got way darker. By 2022, Kanye wasn't just controversial. He was completely off the rails. His social media became a non-stop storm of offensive posts, conspiracy theories, and wild rants that had people wondering if he'd lost control altogether. What really pushed everything over the edge, though, were his anti-Semitic posts, one so vile that they instantly turned the entire entertainment world against him. That's when his empire started crumbling in real time. Major companies, the same ones that once paid him millions, dropped him without hesitation. Vogue cut ties, Universal Music Group distanced itself, and even Adidas, the brand that helped make Yeezy a billion-dollar empire, said enough. His partnerships vanished one by one, and the once most influential figure in fashion and music became a walking cautionary tale overnight. But Kanye didn't stop there. Instead of apologizing, he doubled down. He started embracing chaos like it was his new brand identity. Then came the now infamous InfoWars interview with conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, and that's where Kanye's spiral hit rock bottom. Sitting there, face covered, no metaphors, no word games, he said it straight. Even Alex Jones, I'm the same guy who's been sued for spreading conspiracy, lies about school shooting.
I see good things about Hitler also. The Jew, I love everyone. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
When Alex Jones starts sweating during your interview, you know things have gone completely off the rails. That's how bad it got. Ye crossed a line that even professional provocateurs wouldn't touch. By this point, there was no saving Kanye. He'd crossed every line imaginable. What started as reckless talk had spiraled into full-blown chaos. But even then, when he finally offered what seemed like an apology, it wasn't for his hate-filled words. Instead, he doubled down again, claiming that black people can't be anti-Semitic. The internet was stunned. It was like Kanye had become addicted to controversy. Out of nowhere, Ye made a post on X that left fans speechless. He confirmed what many had only whispered about, saying his latest song, Cousins, wasn't just lyrics, it was real. The song opens with him rapping, hanging out with my cousin, reading dirty magazines, and then he explained it wasn't fiction. Kanye wrote that when he was younger, he and his cousin acted out things they saw in those magazines. He even said, "My name is Ye, and I was with my cousin until I was 14.
My cousin is locked up for murder, and I love him. I saw he did a bad thing, but I still...
People couldn't believe what they were reading. A confession like that, posted for the world to see, completely unprovoked. Fans and critics didn't even know how to process it. Why would he reveal something so private, so disturbing, and in the middle of defending another man facing serious accusations? It raised one huge question. Who was this cousin Kanye kept talking about? He never said a name, but he described the person as someone who'd later gotten a woman pregnant and ended up serving a life sentence. It sounded like something out of a movie. Only this was real life, and Kanye was the one writing the script. That's when Camron, the Harlem rapper who once collaborated with Kanye, decided to get involved. Camron wasn't new to controversy, but he wasn't about to sit back and let Ye rewrite reality without some receipts. He'd worked with Kanye before, even squashed old beefs with him in the past. But this situation, this was something else entirely. Camron had street instincts, and when he heard Kanye's confession, he felt like something wasn't adding up. Unlike Ye, who grew up chasing studios and spotlight dreams, Camron came up straight from the grit of Harlem. After getting expelled from school, he jumped into the hustle early, dealing and surviving however he could. That raw edge became the backbone of his rap career. By the late 90s, he was already rubbing shoulders with legends like Big L and the notorious B.I.G., and his name carried real respect. When Kanye was still struggling to find a label, Camron was already a certified name in the game, and he didn't take kindly to seeing someone he once worked with spiral this far. Over the years, Camron had built an empire beyond music. Acting, sports talk, and his Dipset USA clothing line made him a business mind as well as a rapper. So when he started digging into Kanye's so-called cousin story, people listened. He wasn't doing it for clout, he wanted the truth. Because whatever Kanye said online wasn't just bizarre anymore, it was dangerous. Camron's no rookie when it comes to rap beefs. His history's packed with drama and heavy hitters. He's clashed with the likes of Jay-Z, 50 Cent, and even his own Dipset brother, Jim Jones. But somehow, he always managed to squash those feuds and walk away with his respect intact. With Kanye, though, that's a different beast entirely. There's no making peace with someone who seems determined to burn every bridge he's ever built. Cam knows Kanye too well to be surprised by his antics. Over the years, he's watched Yes say wild stuff, from attacking his peers to ranting about politics. But when Kanye started going after Jay-Z and Beyonce's kids, that's when Cam drew the line. He blasted him right back, saying, "Why are you bringing up another man's kids?" That's desperate. That's when everyone realized Cam might be blunt, but he's got a code. So when he saw Kanye's post confessing to being intimate with his cousin, Camron wasn't about to stay silent. He saw the lyrics, the statements, and the timeline, and something about it didn't sit right. It wasn't just disturbing, it was suspicious. During an interview on Talk with Flea, Cam said straight up that he was done letting Kanye's chaos slide. He hinted that Ye's confession sounded like there was more to the story, and he wanted answers, real ones. Cam said he picked up on certain clues Ye had dropped and figured the cousin might actually still be alive, or at least traceable. And get this, Cam said he planned to track that man down in prison to talk to him face to face. He claimed the cousin might hold some dark truths about Kanye's past, maybe even something that connected to his current mental spiral.
Actually trying to find the cousin. I want to interview the cousin. I'm trying to find, so anybody who knows this cousin that he's talking about and what jail he's in, we're willing to go to the jail to do the interview with the cousin who's been molested during life right now. We're actually on the hunt to find him personally at this personal moment.
Some fans think Cam's theory goes even deeper, that Kanye might have experimented or manipulated his cousin somehow, leaving scars that went beyond the music. But Cam also pointed out something that a lot of fans missed: the timing. He said Kanye's confession dropped right when his public attention was fading and when other controversies were losing steam. Convenient, right? Cam suggested that maybe Ye wasn't trying to confess. Maybe he was just chasing headlines again. According to Cam, Kanye knew exactly what he was doing, dropping the wildest claim possible to get people talking about him again.
Kanye, when somebody bring up his name to you, what's your first thoughts?
Kanye, he play crazy with who he want to play crazy with. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that make crazy when it's convenient.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that, bro.
That's what I think.
Yeah, exactly. It's beneficial.
Shit.
Every time I see Kanye, I've seen Kanye about a year and a half, 2 years, about a year and a half ago. The same as a mother. What's up, Camron? What's up, man? Need some beats? I'm like, yeah, man. Yo, all right, cool, man. I'm like, yo, I might f around with you tonight. You want to tell you? He's going to tell you about. I pause. I'm like, talking about beats. I'm like, all right, cool. 2 days later, they're going crazy on the news and on tape and shit. Every time I see Kanye, he's perfectly fine.
Yeah. And he be saying some nice, he be saying some shit sometimes too, off the wall.
I mean, I've never seen a crazy Kanye personally, ever.
Cam didn't hold back either, and he said Kanye was now posing as gay just to stay relevant because, as he put it, being outrageous is his last trick. Harsh words. But Cam made it clear Ye's pattern of behavior was too obvious. He'll go silent, then suddenly pop up saying something insane just to keep his name trending. It's like Kanye's addicted to shock value, and Cam wasn't fooled for a second. As Cam put it, you can only scream Nazi love so many times before people stop reacting. And honestly, he's right. Kanye's unpredictable act has become predictable. Every time the public starts to forget about him, he finds a new way to hijack the spotlight. Camron called it out perfectly. He said this isn't about art or truth anymore. It's about attention, plain and simple. After 2 decades in the public eye, people have seen Kanye's full cycle. Genius, fame, meltdown, repeat. Cam's just one of the few with enough experience and street sense to call it like it is. He sees through the performance, and while most fans are still trying to understand what Ye's doing, Cam's already 10 steps ahead, watching a man unravel one headline at a time. By 2023, Camron had already made up his mind about Kanye, and he wasn't holding back anymore. During an interview on All the Smoke, Cam let the world know exactly what he thought about Ye's behavior. He said straight up, Kanye plays crazy with who he wants to play crazy with. He's only crazy when it's convenient. That line hit hard because Cam wasn't talking from the sidelines. He'd actually seen Kanye in person in 2021 and said the man was perfectly fine, calm, clear-headed, and completely in control. That's why Camron's convinced all this chaos might be a calculated act. According to Cam, Kanye's not spiraling while he's strategizing. Every outrageous quote, every meltdown, every shocking post, all part of a plan to stay relevant in a world that moves on fast. But here's where it gets dark. What if Ye wasn't lying about that cousin story? What if that disturbing confession actually happened? Cam admitted that possibility made his stomach turn. If it's fake, it's desperate. But if it's real, it's unforgivable. Either way, it paints a picture of a man who's gone too far for attention. Cam's reasons for calling Ye out weren't personal beef. They were about principle. He said Kanye's behavior doesn't just hurt himself, it stains entire communities.
So it's your son, man.
Said about you?
Yeah, that's why I'm talking to you. Because I don't usually talk to niggas who suck dick. Once they suck dick, I don't go back. I don't go back and forth once you admit you suck dick. That's just me. That's why
Now that part ain't my son.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What are we doing? I know how you stand on business. I didn't know if we had it was intervention. If you was gonna have an
I was trying to have the intervention, but I can't stand.
All right. It might have been a phase.
So what Cam is saying is that his whole phase is up. He can have his whole phase deleted.
Listen,
that's what Dre said.
No, you could delete being a hoe, what Dre said, but Dre ain't a man who sucked dick. That's what I'm saying.
Chicago used to be a symbol of creativity and hustle, producing legends like Common, Chance the Rapper, and Kanye himself. But now, Cam said Kanye and R. Kelly's scandals have left an ugly mark on the city's name. In an interview posted by College Kid, Cam ranted, "Y'all putting a stain on a good city, man." He sounded genuinely disappointed, not just in Kanye's antics, but in what they represented to the culture. Kanye didn't take that criticism well, though. In typical Ye fashion, his response was a roller coaster of contradictions. He went online saying he loves Camron, then that he hates him, then that he's scared of him, and then said he isn't scared after all. It was a mess of emotions that made zero sense. But honestly, that's just Kanye. Chaos on command. Meanwhile, Cam's still out here speaking truth while Ye keeps doubling down on his darkness. Kanye hasn't changed his tune one bit. He's still rocking all-black outfits that give off Ku Klux Klan energy, still dropping Hitler love quotes, and still posting disturbing confessions that no one asked for. Even if what he said about his cousin can't be proven, the fact that he said it out loud tells you just how far gone he is. And while Cam's working to get to the bottom of this, even talking about tracking down the cousin in prison to hear his side, Kanye seems perfectly happy basking in the chaos he created. It's like he knows the outrage keeps his name alive. Every headline, every scandal, every tweet, it feeds the machine he's built around himself. But here's the truth that Camron and everyone else can see. That spotlight Kanye keeps chasing, it's starting to burn out. You can only say so many shocking things before people stop reacting. Eventually, even the most outrageous statements stop trending. And that's what's happening to Ye now. The more he talks, the less people care. What's wild is that this isn't even the first time he's tried to shock his way back into relevance. Remember when Kanye announced his presidential run in 2020? Out of nowhere, he declared he was running as an independent candidate. Not Democrat, not Republican, just Ye for president. People thought it was a joke at first, but then they saw him crying at rallies, talking about personal tragedies and rambling about policies that didn't make sense. Some fans felt sorry for him, others thought he was trolling the nation. Now, years later, with every outburst and confession, Kanye seems stuck in the same loop, saying anything to stay in the spotlight, even if it destroys what's left of his legacy. And Camron's not the only one noticing. The rap world, the brands, and even longtime fans are tired. Everyone's watching Ye's downfall like it's a movie that's gone on too long. So the real question now isn't whether Kanye's telling the truth, it's whether he even knows what the truth is anymore. Is he exposing something real or just performing for attention? Camron's digging for answers, and if he really finds that cousin, things could explode all over again. But one thing's for sure, Kanye's game of shock and scandal has an expiration date, and that clock's ticking fast. Only Kanye could dream up something as wild as the birthday party. That's right. Back in 2020, Ye announced he was running for president, and his campaign slogan was that if he won, it would be everybody's birthday. Seriously, that was his logic. His running mate, a Wyoming preacher named Michelle Tidball, a woman just as mysterious as Kanye's campaign itself. The whole thing felt like one big performance, the kind only Kanye could pull off. Fans didn't know whether to laugh or be worried. Political experts called it delusional, and critics labeled it a publicity stunt. But deep down, most people suspected this was just Ye doing what Ye does best, grabbing attention before dropping new music. After all, the timing was suspicious. His campaign kicked off right before he teased new tracks online. Of course, Kanye didn't come anywhere close to winning that 2020 election. He barely made it on a few ballots and ended up with less than 1% of the votes. But that didn't stop him from eyeing 2024 like it was his comeback season. This time, he thought he could make it bigger. Now, whether Kanye's telling the truth or spinning another story depends on the day. He's been caught contradicting himself more times than anyone can count. One week he says he's bipolar, the next he claims he's autistic. He shifts positions faster than his Yeezy sneaker drops. Every claim, every confession, every headline, it all feels like part of his endless performance. But Camron and others in the rap world think there's a deeper reason behind it. They say Kanye's biggest addiction isn't fame, it's validation. He's constantly reinventing himself because he never fit the mold. Unlike rappers who came from the streets or real hardship, Kanye's background was different. He wasn't raised in the projects or surrounded by violence. He grew up in the middle-class suburbs of Oak Lawn, Illinois. While artists like Camron hustled through the rough blocks of Harlem and R. Kelly came out of Chicago's South Side, Kanye's childhood looked nothing like that. After moving from Atlanta to Chicago, he even spent time living in Nanjing, China with his mom, who worked as a teacher there. That's not your typical rapper's origin story. And because of that, Kanye's always been fighting to belong, to craft a persona tough enough, wild enough, and shocking enough to be taken seriously in the game. Maybe that's why he's constantly changing his image. One day, the genius producer, the next, a political prophet, then a fashion mogul, and now a self-proclaimed outcast.
He's had all of the money, he's got all of the access to the best help. Go get help. Until he does that, everything I see him do and say just seems like a publicity stunt to me.
It's like he's trapped in an endless identity crisis, always trying to prove something that never needed proving. But at some point, even the shock factor loses power. And that's where Kanye's at now. The act's getting old, the headlines sound recycled, and people are tuning out. And that's what Camron keeps warning about. Once the public stops reacting, Kanye's entire empire starts to crumble. Because without the chaos, without the controversy, Ye has nothing left to sell. His stories keep getting louder, but his audience is growing quieter. So, yeah. Maybe that's why Kanye keeps running for offices he'll never win, aligning with people who use him for clout, and confessing to things no one asked about. He's trying to keep his reflection from disappearing, but the truth is, no matter how many names he changes or movements he creates, the world has stopped taking him seriously. He's no longer the voice of a generation. He's the echo of what fame can do when it consumes someone completely. Kanye's been through more name changes than most people have jobs. From Kanye West to Yeezus to Yeezy to Just Yell, it's like he's trying to outrun his own shadow. Every reinvention comes with a new identity, new belief system, and new controversy to match. One minute he's preaching, the next he's ranting, and through it all he'll say or do anything just to keep the spotlight locked on him. So when Camron went public saying he was actually going to track down Kanye's mysterious cousin, lost it. He wasn't just annoyed, he was furious. Think about it. If Cam proves that the entire cousin story is fake, Kanye's whole persona starts to crumble. Whatever tiny bit of trust he's got left with friends, fans, or business partners would vanish overnight. Because once the world realizes that Ye's shocking lyrics are nothing but made-up scandals for attention, the game is over. Cam's investigation threatens the one thing Kanye still has, the illusion of unpredictability. If the story's a lie, Ye's exposed as a fraud. If it's true, he's exposed as something way worse. Either way, there's no winning for Kanye. And that's exactly why Camron's digging scares him. Because for the first time in years, someone's holding him accountable. Camron's not playing around with this one. He said flat out that if Ye's using something as twisted as an incest confession for clout, it crosses a line you can't come back from. As Cam put it, some rappers evolve, they grow up and give back. But Kanye, he just gets louder. And he's right. He's been recycling the same chaos for years. New rants, new outfits, new outbursts, but no growth. It's like he's trapped in his own PR stunt that never ends. What makes it even wilder is that Kanye hasn't technically done anything illegal. He's not in court for crimes like racketeering or assault. He's in the headlines for praising Nazis and posting about taboo topics. It's almost like he's figured out how to stay relevant without ever breaking the law, just break morals instead. That's the dangerous genius of it. Kanye doesn't need to rob or shoot anyone. All he has to do is open his mouth and the internet does the rest. Still, his cousin's story feels different. Even Kanye knows there's a limit to what people will tolerate, and this one pushed it. It's too disturbing, too specific, and too personal. And that's exactly why Camron won't drop it. Cam said he's determined to find the cousin, or at least find the truth. He's even hinted that he's already working through contacts in Chicago to get information. If this cousin turns out to be real, things could explode fast, but if the story's completely fake, Kanye's credibility, what little's left, will evaporate for good. His problem is that he's cornered himself. If he gives too many details, the story could expose something sick and irreversible. But if he says too little, people lose interest. And losing attention is Kanye's biggest fear. This is a man who's addicted to being talked about. He thrives on controversy the way other artists thrive on creativity. Camron knows it too. That's why he's going in hard. He's not just calling Kanye out for attention. He's doing it because someone needs to stop the endless cycle of manipulation and shock tactics. As Cam said in one of his live streams, at this point, Ye ain't dropping music. He dropping scandals. So now, the whole hip-hop world's watching